The Bud Light boycott, I know, is really hurting Bud Light. It's really hurting Anheuser Busch. And honestly, it's going pretty mainstream. There's a ton of TikToks that I've been seeing on Twitter. There's a ton of new YouTube videos. People just doing all kinds of different trolls when it comes to Bud Light in stores, and even their own personal bottles, just straight up pouring them, into the grass outside or whatever the case may be. There's just a ton of videos of people of Bud Light, the whole boycott situation, going mainstream. People making fun of Bud Light, making fun of the whole situation instead of just being angry. It's straight up, Bud Light is now a meme. It's become a complete shift in the culture now that whenever I see people, I'll see people get called out in public, in videos. Obviously, I haven't seen this personally in real life yet, but I'll see people in TikTok videos where they'll be drinking Bud Light and someone will call them out for drinking like gay beer and stuff like that. Like, they're making it funny. They're making a joke out of it, and people get shamed for drinking Bud Light now. It's not just people choosing to not buy it. It's people getting straight up shamed for drinking Bud Light. And in this video, we have a few funny videos as well as some very serious updates in terms of the Bud Light Anheuser Busch stock chart and the whole boycott situation. Let's check out this video right here from Benny Johnson. It says, someone threw country star Brantley Gilbert a Bud Light while he was on stage. His reaction was priceless. Let's check this out.
You ain't got a hair on your ass if you'll shotgun that son of a bitch. Of course he's got a knife.
That's pretty much the gist of the video. He got the Bud Light thrown to him. He spiked it on the ground and exploded. And then I think it was either a Miller Lite or a Coors Light that was thrown at him. And he was like, all right, this is good enough. But as people pointed out in the comments, obviously Miller Lite and Coors Light, not that much better. The thing is, though, that doesn't really matter. The boycott right now is directed at Bud Light because of what they did with Dylan Mulvaney. And if we actually make Bud Light hurt, if we actually make Bud Light bleed, if we stick to this boycott until they're forced to apologize and maybe possibly even backtrack on what they did with Dylan Mulvaney, I don't think that's the purpose of this, but it definitely will be a big win if they are forced to apologize. It definitely will be. And if we stick to it and we force them to do that, we are showing other companies like Miller, like Coors, if they do things that are similar, if they continue to push that weirdo agenda, whatever it may be, whether it's just having, gay pride stuff going on, or whether it's Dylan Mulvaney straight up being in advertisements for them, whatever the case may be, it's showing them that if they do this in the future, the same thing could possibly happen to them. Therefore, by proxy, deterring them from doing this in the future. So it kind of is, by boycotting Bud Light, we kind of are boycotting all of them at the same time. We're at least showing them that if they do something similar to Bud Light, the same thing could possibly happen to them. So that's why I don't understand these people saying, there's no point in boycotting Bud Light because every single beer brand does similar things. For one, I don't think having gay pride flags in one advertisement is as bad as paying Dylan Mulvaney hundreds of thousands of dollars to straight up be the face of Bud Light. I don't think it's as bad. But for two, by boycotting Bud Light, you're kind of by proxy showing all of them what could possibly happen if they continue down that path. There's a video floating around of Riley Green replacing the lyric Bud Light with Coors Light during a recent concert, and a crowd erupts. Like I said, not too, kind of two sides to the same coin, but you get the picture. At least I respect people for trying. I respect people for the attempts, and I'm sure those people will eventually learn that, what they're saying, things like this. Coors Light with the whole gay pride flag on their logo and everything. I'm sure they're not aware of that, and they will be aware of it in the future, and they'll probably change their opinions. They'll change the way that they buy beer going forward once they do see this type of stuff. Here's another really funny video that I saw. Like I said, there's a ton of them. This one is from an account named Susie. Someone put "for rectal use only" stickers on Bud Light, and I believe this is either a grocery store or a gas station or something like that. I'm gonna mute it for the sake of copyright reasons, but as you can see, there's stickers on these Bud Light boxes for rectal use only. I'm telling you, dude, the fact that people are making big jokes about this whole situation is really just going to shift the way people look at Bud Light in the culture even more than people just being angry at the brand and not buying their product. It's gonna shift the way people view Bud Light a lot more than just their stock going down. It's really, if we can hit them in the culture, if we can make them be looked at differently in the entire culture, And I mean, that's going to make people buy their stuff even less. But if we also hit them in the boycott side of things and make them bleed money, I mean, what choice do they really have, man? They have to backtrack on what they said. They have to backtrack on what they did at that point. They don't have a choice. This one from Tennessee Truth Seeker says, talked to Bud Light beer salesman at the store today. He shared that he has never seen such non-movement of their products in his 15 years. Even in rural communities, no product is being sold. The cooler was completely full of Bud products. Not one case was sold since yesterday at this particular food city. Please tell me rural America has no voice. Anheuser Busch better get the message and fast. And it's crazy. It's crazy how Dylan Mulvaney can do this entire thing to Bud Light, can ruin an entire brand, but it's so good that we're actually showing people, showing these beer companies, and showing just every company, every corporation out there, not just the beer ones, that hiring people like Dylan Mulvaney as the face of your brand can actually completely ruin your brand, especially if you're someone like Anheuser Busch that has pandered to the right side of America, that actually donates to Republicans and stuff like that. Especially if you're going to backstab your entire, the people that you donate to, the people who you're trying to push forward to get elected. Also, as you can see right here, the stock is still going down. It's fluctuating. It's going up and down, but I definitely think this is going to hurt. And something that people don't realize about this right here, about this picture, and people talking about the Bud Light not selling in stores, not selling in gas stations, not selling at bars, is the stores, the bars, the gas stations, they're not going to have to restock for, a couple weeks. They're not going to restock every single day. They buy in bulk. So whenever the time comes for them to restock and they realize, wait, we haven't sold any Bud Light, we don't even need to restock, that's going to take a couple months for Bud Light, for Anheuser Busch to actually feel the effects of these stores, these bars, whatever the case may be, not restocking on Bud Light, not restocking on Budweiser or any Anheuser Busch products. It's going to take a couple of months for them to really feel the effects of that, which is going to have a delayed drop in their stock chart. So like I said, we're hitting them not only in just the immediate effects on the stock chart, which I don't think is even close to how bad it's going to be once these stores stop restocking, because there's no reason for them to restock when they're not selling any products, but also we're hitting them on the culture side of things, which with these TikTok videos, dude, I could have pulled up a million different ones that I've seen over the last few days. With Brantley Gilbert spiking a Bud Light while on stage and then gets another type of beer. I'm not sure which exactly beer that was, but he spikes a Bud Light on stage and the crowd cheers. Like, I've seen a ton of different videos like this. So the culture is definitely shifting when it comes to Bud Light. And it's great to see. It really is great to see a lot of people. I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people out there shifting. A lot of people taking a stand and a lot of people making a change and saying, we're not going to buy Bud Light. We're not going to accept this stuff. And it's just great to see. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen with the future of Bud Light. Do you think this will end up being forgotten in a couple weeks, or do you think that this will actually have a big effect on the brand of Anheuser Busch, on the brand of Bud Light? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.